In Aomori, Japan, plutonium is stolen from a nuclear fuel processing facility, and one of the young perpetrators sprays the letters VON at the scene in red paint. 6 months later, the two teenagers, who refer to themselves as 9 and 12, interrupt the student Lisa Mishima's classmates as they bully her, then enroll in her school. A mysterious video is posted on social media by two masked teenagers called Sphinx 1 and 2, threatening a blackout and explosion in the Shinjuku area the following day. Demoted detective Shibazaki sees the video but does not take it seriously. The next day, while Lisa is in the Tokyo Metropolitan Government building, the Greater Tokyo Prefecture loses power and the building is evacuated. With video surveillance down across the city, 9 and 12 place stuffed animals containing explosives next to the bearing pillars of the building. When 12 is interrupted by Lisa, he gives her one of their stuffed animals and makes her promise to keep it with her. He asks 9 to decide whether they should kill her or let her live. His response is to let her decide whether to die or become an accomplice. Lisa does not want to die, so 12 extracts her as the building crumbles. 12 returns to their hideout with Lisa, who is unharmed, albeit confused. The police investigation reveals that high-temperature thermite-based bombs were used in the attack. The building collapse left 27 people with minor injuries but no fatalities despite the large-scale destruction. Lisa returns home shaken by the incident. Her paranoid mother is upset because Lisa didn't reply to her many calls and accuses her of wanting to leave just like her husband. Meanwhile, 9 and 12 start work on a cell phone bomb. They release a second video with a riddle from Oedipus Rex hinting at their next bomb site's location. After deducing what appears to be the site referred to in the riddle, police move to the suspected location, a DNA laboratory. Shibazaki calls the police chief, Kurohashi, with an alternative interpretation of the riddle, suggesting that the bomb will be at the Roppongi Police District office. After the bomb explodes in the district office instead of the lab, Kurohashi asks Shibazaki to return to the detective division from his exile in the archives. Kurohashi also shares information about the theft of the Aomori plutonium with Shibazaki, including the fact that the letters VON were found at both locations. Lisa follows 12 to the scene of the explosion, but he threatens to kill her if she makes a wrong move. Shibazaki then transfers to the police agency heading the investigation, to the dissatisfaction of several other detectives. Meanwhile, as 9 constructs another bomb, he deduces from the presence of counter-nuclear terrorism special forces that police are aware of his and 12's theft of the plutonium from the Aomori nuclear facility. Shibazaki learns that one of the men who stole the plutonium worked at the nuclear facility for a short time, but his identity has since been erased. Shibazaki then laments to Kurohashi that, as a Hiroshima native, he hated summer due to the fears held by the older townspeople who experienced the town's atomic bombing during World War II. 9 and 12 send a third video with another riddle related to Oedipus Rex. Meanwhile, Lisa, unable to keep on living with her mentally unstable and abusive mother, runs away from home. Shibazaki solves the riddle during a live stream organized by the police, during which he announces the location of the newest bomb. Watching the livestream, the news coverage, and their own surveillance cameras, 9 realizes the police have connected them to the stolen plutonium. Kurohashi reveals to other officers the reason behind Shibazaki's demotion. 15 years ago, he tried to investigate a cover-up of a death orchestrated by powerful people, who demoted him to the archives since he didn't want to play by their rules. 9 then hacks into the Metropolitan Police Department database, searching for data. 12 follows Lisa, concerned about her living on the streets. 9 sends a fourth video titled Time Shock Bomb, where he and 12 present another riddle related to Oedipus Rex to find a hidden bomb timed to explode. Using the riddle, Shibazaki finds a website created by 9 and 12, which asks for a password related to 3 maxims inscribed at the temple at Delphi. Realizing that time is running out, the police raid an apartment building where 9 was recorded dropping off a suspicious package while Shibazaki is still trying to solve the riddle. Police officers breach the apartment only to find a laptop instead of the expected explosives. Although Shibazaki solves the riddle a few minutes before the deadline, the timer doesn't stop. As 9 puts it, the police are cheating. Afterward, all police files of the attacks are leaked online. At the same time, 12 rescues Lisa from 2 police officers and takes her to their apartment. 9 is adamant that Lisa can't stay as they can't trust her. However, as they argue, Lisa, hungry and exhausted, collapses. 9 and 12 then place a bomb on a passenger train, and when they return to the apartment, they find that Lisa had tried to prepare a meal for them, which she ends up burning. 12 later comments to 9 that even if the food was inedible, it was better than the bland and forgettable food at the institution. 9 and 12 post another video with a riddle saying that an explosion will occur unless it is solved before the deadline at 8 p.m. Using clues from the riddle, Shibazaki concludes that the newest bomb is on board a train on the Shuto-Shinjuku line. He also realizes that there is a connection between the bombings. The locations are linked to people connected to a seminar run by the Rising Peace Academy, which is a secretive, non-profit organization. Time passes, and not only are there no reports of the bomb being recovered, but cell phone reception fails throughout the area. 12 goes to deactivate the bomb on the train car while 9 tries to locate it, but it's cyber-attacked by someone from their past. 9 manages to find the correct location of the train car with the bomb and rushes to the station to remove it manually, throwing a smoke bomb into the carriage to force commuters off the train. However, one woman remains, and as he enters the train to save her, the bomb explodes. As 9 drags the commuter out of the wreckage, he receives a text message saying, "I found you." Shibazaki confronts Kurohashi about the bombing, but he has the same information as everyone. They all thought the bomb squads would remove and deactivate the explosives, hence they stood down. During their quarrel, a young woman is sitting nearby, quite pleased with herself. Then the police chief announces to a meeting of his task force that a unit of the American Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, will join the investigation, surprising the other officers. 9 has a nightmare involving 5, and he and 12 conclude that 5 is continuing a game of chess the 3 played years ago back at the institution. Lisa offers to help them, and 9 reluctantly agrees. Kurohashi tells Shibazaki about his meeting with the FBI agents, which included 5, who were described as researchers from an American organization called the Nuclear Emergency Support Team, or NEST. Posing as Sphinx, 5 sends a public text message containing a riddle that can only be decoded via a Caesar cipher. The answer is a set of coordinates leading to the international terminal of Haneda Airport. The police are told to stand by on orders from the Superintendent General, but Shibazaki and some of the others ignore the order and head towards the terminal. Knowing that a trap is being set by 5, 9 takes Lisa to the terminal with 12 to avoid detection. 12 then realizes that 5 is using the terminal building as a chessboard. 9 and 12 decide to play 5's chess game. Arriving at the terminal, Shibazaki and the officers see messages being given to 9 and 12 from 5 on the terminal screens. 12 gets Lisa to create a distraction by setting off flares, which triggers a fire alarm. 12 then hacks into the camera system, enabling 9 to rush to find 5's location without being detected. He confronts 5 and holds her at gunpoint, demanding to know why she's interfering in their plans. She responds that she wants to settle things with him and reveals that Lisa has been caught and is being held captive at the bomb's location. Airport police arrive and fire at 9, forcing him to flee where he briefly passes Shibazaki. 9 finds 12, who receives a phone call from Lisa, who is aboard an airplane that has a bomb on board and is on autopilot heading towards a terminal filled with commuters. 9 then contacts Shibazaki, convincing him that the latest bomb is not theirs and instructs him to infiltrate the control tower and take control of the autopilot system. 9 and 12 then rescue Lisa from the plane, while Shibazaki enters the control room and forces one of the operators to divert the plane away from the terminal at gunpoint. The plane then explodes without injuring anyone, and Shibazaki spots a masked 9 who signals him in thanks before leaving. 5, the person responsible for the bomb, manages to escape, but she has kept Lisa's school ID card with her. The media then broadcasts that the foiled airport attack is the work of Sphinx. The officers who accompany Shibazaki to Haneda Airport are suspended for 3 months by their boss, while Shibazaki is permanently suspended. Shibazaki learns from his daughter Haruka, a physics student, that a person could construct an atomic bomb from plutonium. Meanwhile, 5 tracks down Lisa at the Sphinx hideout and sends a bomb, but Lisa escapes before it detonates. 9, 12, and Lisa flee to an abandoned video arcade where 9 states that Lisa is a liability. Shibazaki continues his investigation, and while at the National Archives, he discovers that a decade ago, the Rising Peace Academy implemented an operation called the Athena Project. He then visits Ichiru Fujiwaka, a politician who was involved, and threatens to expose his son's illegal activities. Fujiwaka reveals that orphan children were gathered and tested, and those gifted with the savant syndrome were selected for the Athena Project. Suspended Officer Hamura joins Shibazaki, and they continue their investigation. Feeling guilty, Lisa leaves 9 and 12, only to be captured by 5's allies in the FBI. Later, 12 receives a threatening text message from 5, revealing that Lisa has been taken hostage. Rejecting 9's pleas to focus on their mission, 12 sets off to rescue Lisa. While 12 goes to rescue Lisa, 9 leaves to retrieve the plutonium. Meanwhile, Shibazaki and Hamura visit Sota Aoki, the former welfare minister, to question him about the Athena project. Surprisingly, Aoki tells everything about it. Its connections to the members of the Rising Peace Academy, the experiments on the gifted children with the quote-unquote settlement, and the use of drugs to produce the savant syndrome artificially. Aoki says that 5 was the only child to have survived the project. However, 2 other children, 9 and 12, managed to escape. He tells Shibazaki that the mastermind behind the project was Dr. Shunzo Mamiya, the politician behind Shibazaki's demotion. While 9 constructs the final bomb, 12 reaches the amusement park and finds Lisa handcuffed on a Ferris wheel. Her body is laced with several bombs and a timer activates when the ride begins to move. 12 comforts her and begins disarming the bombs individually, although they both realize that he cannot defuse them all in time. 12 refuses to leave Lisa and reluctantly tells 5 the location of the plutonium in exchange for stopping the timer. 5 then cuts the power to the Ferris wheel, trapping 12 and Lisa mid-air. 5 reveals that she knows they stole a prototype atomic bomb rather than plutonium. The Metropolitan Police Department raid the school where 9 has just retrieved the bomb. 5 orders him captured alive before she suddenly collapses. 9 then turns himself into the police, but refuses to speak to anyone but Shibazaki. He demands a press conference at a specific location and time, or he will activate the atomic bomb prototype. Shibazaki visits Shunzo Mamiya, who confesses that he created the Athena project to revitalize Japan's national morale following the nation's defeat at the end of World War II. 5 is hospitalized due to her deteriorating health as a consequence of the Athena project experiments. She learns of 9's surrender and desperately drives off to reach him. 5's accomplices pursue the police convoy carrying 9 to the press conference through the Shuto Expressway, only to find that the truck is a decoy. Enraged and desperate, 5 pursues 9 herself. 12 catches them on his motorbike and stops the truck carrying 9, but 5 causes him to crash. FBI agent Clarence attempts to stop her, but she kills him. 5 confesses to 9 that she always wanted to beat him, but never could. Knowing that she is dying, 5 gives him a brief kiss before committing suicide by detonating the spilled gas from her car. The Japanese airwaves are then hijacked by a pre-recorded message from 9 stating that the countdown for the atomic bomb's detonation has begun. Declaring that this is the final message from Sphinx, 9 then unmasks himself and bids the people of Japan farewell. Following 9's announcement of the atomic bomb, Tokyo's population begins to evacuate. Lisa encounters a severely injured 12 who collapses. Shibazaki reminds Hamura that Sphinx has killed no one and receives confirmation from his daughter that the bomb could explode in the stratosphere without causing fatalities. However, an electromagnetic pulse from the explosion would black out the country and disable any planes in flight. All commercial flights are ordered to land, and fighter jets are dispatched to intercept the bomb, but it has risen too high. 12 regains consciousness and tells Lisa that he and 9 were always alone. The atomic bomb detonates, and the city is then plunged into darkness. It is followed by an aurora illuminating the sky formed by the radiation from the blast. The following day, passing Tokyo's abandoned buildings and streets, 9 sets up makeshift grave markers for the Athena Project children at the settlement. He is joined by 12 and Lisa, and the 3 then spend an enjoyable day together. As night falls, they are approached by Shibazaki, who promises that Project Athena will be exposed. Minutes later, US helicopters arrive and 9 withdraws a detonator and threatens to explode another atomic bomb, under orders from their superiors to keep the American government's involvement in the investigation a secret. The soldiers open fire and kill 12. Shibazaki shields 9 and promises that Sphinx will be remembered. 9 surrenders the detonator before abruptly dying from the same affliction that killed 5. 1 year later, Project Athena is exposed, leaving the Japanese government under media scrutiny. Lisa encounters Shibazaki at the graves of 9, 12, 5, and all of the other Project children. Lisa reveals that 9 used to listen to Icelandic music and that VON or Vaughn was Icelandic for hope.